Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to talk about how to downsize your wardrobe when you really love clothes. So if you don't know already, I've worked in the fashion industry for the last 10 years. Clothes are a big part of my life. I love to change up my look, I love fashion, I love trying new trends, I love colour, and so even though I really respect minimalist principles, the idea of only owning things that bring you joy, only owning things that add value to your life, I've found it really hard to downsize my wardrobe. I've finally got to a point where I feel like I've got a handle on this, and I wanted to do a video that reached out to people like me who love fashion and love clothes, but they do want to live life with less. I'm going to give you 10 tips on how I downsized my wardrobe and now live with less. Number one is admitting that your habits need to change. Whenever I say to people that, oh, I don't buy clothes that much anymore, I try not to buy clothes, a lot of people say to me, oh, but we all work so hard, you need to reward yourself sometimes, or, oh, but you love fashion, you've got to indulge that creativity in you, that kind of thing. I think as well, I used to think, well, I love fashion, I'm obviously going to have a big wardrobe, and I'd look at people like Carrie Bradshaws of this world with their walk-in wardrobes, and I think, yeah, that's, it's just normal, that's how people live, right? But then when I looked at my reasons for wanting to live with less, I realised that I wanted this to apply to clothing as much as it does to everything else in my life. So my reasons are money, saving for more important things, big things like buying property and saving for my future, to spend more money on learning new skills and travelling and having experiences. I know in the past I've really wanted to take up a new hobby or a new skill, and I thought, oh, I can't afford that. And then when I look back now at times where I've cleared out, and some of the things I've cleared out that I've never worn, and I think, wow, if I added those 10 things together, that would have been the amount for the course that I never went on. So now these days I try to prioritise experiences over things, and that's one of the reasons why I want to stop buying so much stuff. The other reason is because I find that having less clutter clears my head, it makes me feel more organised, it saves me time. When my wardrobe is less full, I can make choices better in the morning. Now that I've cleared down my toiletries and beauty, everything's at easy grabbing distance. The other thing is I feel like it gives me more freedom. Like if I wanted to move tomorrow, I could. Years ago when I moved abroad, I moved to Sydney, I had the terrible, arduous task of downsizing my belongings over the course of 3 months, and right up until the last day I was still giving things away and taking things to charity, and I took a disgusting amount of stuff to charity, and so much of it was so good, in such good condition. I just ran out of time to sell it, and now when I look back I just think, wow, what a waste. My second tip is to take stock of everything you have and do a massive clear out. It's really important to just start from a fresh base and to know everything that you have. You'll realise you've got doubles of things, you'll realise you had things in the back you've forgotten about, so it's just a really good starting point. Take everything out, try everything on, try and encourage you not to waste things though, rather than throwing it away, give it to charity, give it to friends and family. It's like toiletries and makeup, gently used, can actually be given away to charities which support women's refuges, so it's worth looking into that. I feel so much better without that massive drawer that I had of toiletries that I never use. Now when I need something like nail varnish remover, I just open the drawer and the nail varnish remover's there. Before I had to go through like all the many bottles of shampoo and moisturiser to find the thing that I actually needed. Third suggestion is to do your clear outs regularly, especially in the beginning. It will be hard to part with things, and by clearing out regularly, each time you find that some of the things that you thought, oh, I definitely need to keep that, you won't have the same attachment to them the next time because you'll know that you haven't worn it in the last few weeks or whatever. I say to people, don't keep a maybe pile. You don't need a maybe pile. Some people have a box where they're not quite ready to give it away, but they put it all in the box and they put it out of sight. I think the best way is, if you're not sure if you should keep something or not, keep it in your wardrobe. When it's in your way every day, hanging in front of you, then you're more likely to throw it away more quickly because you'll realise that you don't need it. Also, another tip when you do your clear outs is try and wear the things that you're keeping that you think you love. You won't realise it, but you'll think, oh, I wear this all the time, but then you'll realise, actually, no, I haven't really worn it. I used to wear it all the time, but I don't wear it all the time now. And then when you try and wear it, you'll realise it doesn't really fit in with your personality or your style now, so get rid of it. Number 4 tip is try not to save things for special occasions. Treat every day as a special occasion. I got rid of a lot of stuff once I stopped thinking that I needed to keep certain things to wear in the house or certain things for those days where I'm only going as far as the corner shop. I just kept the things that I really, really love. Number 5 is a really obvious tip. You'll have heard this one before. It's 1 in, 1 out. You don't have to do one by one. I do things like if I've done a massive clear out, then I probably know that for the next however long I can afford to buy 1 or 2 things. The good thing about having less is clear outs do not take that long at all. Probably takes me about 20 minutes maximum to take all my shoes out, put them all back in, take everything off my shelves, refold it, put it back in, and then wardrobe, I just go from one side to the other and just look at everything and decide yes, no, and that's it. Number 6 is sell stuff to fund stuff. I had a really good time with this last summer when I first started clearing out. So I was clearing out stuff on eBay, and then I started learning to make soy candles, and I got really into it and really enjoyed it. So what I was doing was I was using my eBay sales to fund my hobbies. It keeps you in check in making sure that you're doing that whole kind of process of constantly chucking things out. Number 7 is only replace things when they wear out or they run out. Now this is especially important for beauty. I highly recommend nailing your beauty routine. Keep a list of things that you want to try, and when something runs out, then try the new thing, rather than rushing out and buying a new moisturiser because you've just read about it. I especially have to do this with my hair. When I cut my hair and went natural, I had to relearn how to take care of my hair. There was a lot of trying of products, and I kept moving on because I kept reading things about different products. And so then I suddenly said to myself, stop buying, use the things you've got, try them for a while. If they don't work, then you know you've got reason to move on. I've been using the same products for ages now, and when they're finished, maybe I'll rebuy them, or maybe I'll try something else after I've done loads of research. But I'm glad that I stopped buying when I did. My number 8 tip is to try things on. I go to the shops for work quite often, and it's obviously a huge temptation. And one of the ways that I stop myself from buying things is that I try things on, because what happens is a lot of the time I see things on mannequins, or I just see it hanging on the hanger and I love it. Especially being like a creative person, I'll fall in love with things because an idea will pop into my head straight away of how I would style it up, or where I've seen it before in a magazine or on Pinterest or something like that. And it conjures up an image of how I can wear it and how great it's going to be and all of this stuff. So now what I do is I try things on, because what I find 70% of the time is that the image in my head doesn't match what it looks like on me. You spot things when you take it to the changing room, like loose threads, bad quality, that kind of thing. And it's all the things that might change your mind about buying it. Sometimes things fit and look amazing and you still want them. In that case, I take a photo and I walk away. And normally, like if I'm out for a whole day or something like that, I'll go around taking photos, and I'll decide maybe at the end of the day if I'll look through and be like, oh actually I really did love that dress and I've definitely got somewhere to wear it, so I'm going to go back for it. Most of the time I don't go back for any of it, to be quite honest, unless there was something I really could use or had a definite occasion where I could wear it. Again, it's just another way of putting distance between the thought that you want to buy something and the actual purchase. Number 9 tip for having a small wardrobe and buying less is to buy things in real life as opposed to online. I do a lot of online browsing, but I try to now go and look at things in real life where possible. The inconvenience of having to go and get it sometimes puts you off. Yeah, so if you go to the shop and buy it, then you have to make the decision in the shop. And then if you follow my other principles of trying it on, taking a photo and walking away, then you're putting even more distance between you and buying the thing. Some of this might sound like really long-winded or hard, or I don't know. These are things that I've kind of naturally, gradually done, and I find that it's not that big a deal, because what I've noticed is all the time I'm taking photos of myself wearing these things and walking away going, oh my god, I love that, and not going back for it. So much of the time I'm not going back for it. My number 10 tip is to, when you do buy something, keep it in the bag until you want to wear it. This is something I did early on. I don't do it so much now because I've trained myself so well to only buy things that I really like. But in the beginning, actually I take that back, I did do that a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, I buy things just because I've just got the urge to buy something sometimes. I've gone through all of my tips and I've convinced myself that this is the right thing and I've got somewhere to wear it and I want it, and I'll take it home. I leave it in the bag until I want to wear it. And if I try it on and decide not to wear it, I put it back in the bag. And I keep doing that until I've actually worn it, and then it goes in the wardrobe. And by doing this, I've taken a lot of stuff back. There are so many things that in the moment you think, oh, I can wear it to this, I can wear it to this, I really want it. But then actually you end up really not needing it. And it's surprising how often that happens. Maybe it's just to me. I have drastically changed the amount of stuff that's in my wardrobe in the last year. I've changed my buying habits massively. I don't know, I feel like I'm not sure if I've covered everything, so I may have to do a follow-up video. But if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more videos from me, hit subscribe. I will see you on the next video.